Alright, guys, it is the morning after Liverpool beat Ajax by 2 goals to 1. I was at the game, really good game to watch. Both sides played quite well. Liverpool were the more dominant side, they got the early goal through Mohamed Salah. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest Ajax defending for the goal. If Yuri Timber's going to come out and try and win the header, and leave a gap in the defence, he's got to make sure he wins the header. Now, he's not the tallest defender ever, so it's not the best decision ever. Luis Diaz wins the header and leaves Jota to lay off Salah, and Salah to tuck it in the near post and make it 1-0. And to be fair, Ajax responded quite well to that. Berghuis hit the bar, but it was offside. And then Mohamed Kudus scored a wonderful goal, brilliant finish. He's cutting back on himself, going away from goal, and strikes it with his left foot, lasers it off the crossbar and in. Brilliant strike, and nothing defence or goalkeeper could really do about blocking it. Yeah, and that made it 1-1. And then Liverpool, the remainder of the first half, I thought they might, start to look like they're out of ideas again. But to be fair, Liverpool, they created quite a few chances. Diaz had good chance. Van Dijk, same with Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. But the Ajax goalkeeper was just on absolute brilliant form on the night. Um, but yeah, Liverpool, I was quite happy with the performance because they didn't really give up at any point. They just kept hammering away, trying to get the goal, and in the end, they did through a Joel Matip header. I mean, yeah, it was really good header, but I don't know. I was watching it from the other end of the stadium, so it's quite hard to tell. But it looked to me like Timber didn't quite position himself correctly. He was almost like outside the post to start with, which you want to be inside the post to block the header, really. So I didn't think that was great. Um, but yeah, it was still a cracking header. It did really well to get up above. And it did look to begin with like Timber had cleared it off the line, but the referee obviously looked at his watch and the ball had crossed the line. And yeah, that won the game for Liverpool. There were multiple other Liverpool chances and a couple of Ajax chances as well in the second half. But the substitutes definitely made a difference. Darwin Nunez coming on, same for a bit. So Firmino, as well. Who else came on? I can't think of who else. I think it might have been just the two of them actually. James Milner came on right at the end, didn't he? But yeah, they definitely made a difference. Also, what made a difference was for Liverpool was having Thiago back and Joel Matip. Thiago and Joel Matip were for me probably the two players you picked for man of the match, maybe alongside Costas Tsimikas as well. Because Matip just makes so much of a difference when Liverpool have got possession. I just think all he's almost as important to this Liverpool team now as Virgil van Dijk, and I'm not even kidding there. Um, I know Van Dijk is the leader of the defence, but Matip, the over the past 12 months, what he brings with when he's got the ball at his feet and he can push forward with the ball, run into the opposition's half, and then pick out a pass is, so crucial to the way Liverpool play. And it's no coincidence that when Matip is on the pitch, Liverpool do tend to concede less goals for one, and also create more chances because he does start attacks for Liverpool. It's quite similar to what Rudiger did for Chelsea last season. Very good at dribbling forward with the ball and starting up attacks. So yeah, he definitely made a big difference. Thiago, when he's got the ball, he's the most comfortable on the ball in out of any player in Liverpool's team. And yeah, he's press resistant, so that helps a lot with Ajax struggling to get hold of the ball when he's got it at his feet. Um, and yeah, Liverpool in the end they definitely did enough to win the game in my opinion. Ajax though, I mean, that their fans didn't shut up from minute one. They were brilliant in terms of noise and the minute silence for the Queen. There was a lot of speculation before the game about, is it going to be observed correctly? Like, are the fans going to be quiet? And from being in the stadium, I can say that 99.9% of Liverpool fans did observe it. You're obviously going to get a few idiots who, don't have any respect and just start shouting. I'll tell you what, though, the right before the end of the minute silence, you hear this one fan just shout boo, and then another one just shout, "Shut up, you wanker." And then obviously everyone starts applauding because the referee's blown his whistle to end it. And oh my God, comedic timing was brilliant there. Yeah. But yeah, this win for Liverpool is a massive result, because if Liverpool have had their first two games in the Champions League this season, losing to Napoli, which, I mean, away at Napoli is never going to be an easy fixture, and Liverpool have played away at Napoli twice in the past few years before this season and lost both games, so it's not an easy place to go to on a European night. And also, if they'd have got a draw at home to Ajax, then I think Liverpool would be looking at them as like, are they going to get through? Because they're in a bit of trouble here. You'd expect Liverpool to win the next two home games in the Champions League as well. But a trip to Ibrox in Scotland against Rangers, that's going to be a tricky game for Liverpool, as well as going to Ajax as well. That's not going to be easy. But I think Liverpool, with that win last night, should get through now comfortably. But if it had only been a draw last night, I think, yeah, we'd be looking at this group. Not saying that Liverpool won't go through, but it'd be a lot more difficult for them to do so. Ajax, though, it wasn't a bad performance. I think it's what you expect from a team who have lost the main core of their team over the summer. If you look at the players, they've lost Lisandro Martinez, Anthony, as well as Ryan Gravenberch. Who else have they lost? They've lost someone else. Mazraoui at right back as well. And I'm sure there's someone else. Oh, Sebastian Haller up front. So they've lost 5 players who were in the starting 11 last season. And don't get me wrong, they've brought in some good players to replace them, in players like Calvin Bassey, as well as Stephen Bergwijn. But it's going to, take a few games before they do hit top form, I think, because I can't remember them the year after they did really well in the Champions League, and they lost to De Ligt. They also lost De Jong and quite a few others as well. I don't think they completely underachieved next season, but I think it did get off to a slow start. So I'd expect that this year, as well as losing their manager as well. So this year, I think, has been an even bigger loss to the entire team as a whole than it was 3 years ago now. Was it 2019? Yeah, 3 years ago. So yeah, you would expect they would get off to a slightly slower start to the season. Anything else really? Yeah, I'll just talk about a few Ajax players that impressed me. I thought Berghuis played well. Tadic also had a reasonably good game. Kudus, as I've already said up front, played well. Daley Blind had quite a solid game too, but I felt he probably should have scored his chance in the second half, where it's fell to him at the back post and he's got a free header and he's just got to direct it into the corner, but it goes just wide. I think that would have been unbearable for Liverpool if Daley Blind had scored what could have turned out to be the winner, being a former Man United player. I think Daley Blind scored the winner against Liverpool before as well, in a game between Man United and Liverpool. I think I'm right in saying 2015 at Old Trafford. It was the Anthony Martial game. I think he scored the second goal in a 3-1 win for Man United, so that would technically be the winner. But yeah, it was a really good game to watch. I enjoyed it, and yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.